Hi, this is Jacqueline Whitaker, and this is my data analysis. So first, what data did I analyze? My action research is going to be on math facts, and so I decided to take something in the realm of math to analyze. We started a brand new math curriculum this year, Eureka Math, which, if any of you know, Eureka Math is a very rigorous math program, especially because what we used before was not at all rigorous. So it's been a very big jump in my teaching and in the learning of my students. So I thought it would be really interesting to analyze this data. So this is just kind of what the test looks like. So what I did first was I used Excel and I put this data in a table. I took out all student identifiers. I labeled them students A through student P for my 16 students. Then I gave the test total, which was 16, and I inputted the total correct that each student got. And then I had Excel compute their percentage and also sort in ascending order from smallest to largest. So you will see those there. And I also used the formulas to compute the mean or the average, which was 84%, the median, which was 88%, and the mode, which was 100%. I also put my data in a graph, and I chose a bar graph, and I wanted to see the students and then their percentages. And I inputted some lines. The red line shows the average, which was 84%, and you can see that 10 out of 16 students scored above the class average. And the black line shows mastery, or 80% correct on the test. So 13 out of 16, or 81% of my students showed mastery on this assessment. As far as my interpretation of this data, it shows that 13 out of 16 mastered the content. It shows that one student was very close to mastery. They scored a 75%, and two students showed a deficiency, 56% and 25%. I really liked looking at this data in the bar graph because it showed that there was one student specifically who was a large outlier, student J, who scored a 25%. And of course, as we're grading assessments, we see things like this, but it's really helpful to see it in such a stark contrast, even to the student that scored a 56%. It's really showing me that student J is going to require a lot of small group one-on-one, obviously a lot more than they received in the past module. And so I think that's just a really good indicator too in regards to my teaching. I want to make sure that I'm pulling all three of the students that fell below the mastery line, especially student L, because they were so close. And I think with extra support, they could have gotten there, and student H and student J, because they really need extra support in these areas. And maybe they might not hit mastery on the next module, but I want to get them closer to that black line. So I think that that's really important. Another note that I wanted to make is I think something very valuable for me would have been to show data by the question correct or missed, because it would be able to show me if there was one specific question that maybe everybody that didn't get 100 missed, and that would show me that there was something in my teaching that was not clear, did not spend enough time on, needed to revisit. However, I started out trying to do that and realized that it wasn't going to work because of the way the assessments are scored for Eureka. The whole section, these 6 subtraction addition problems, it's one chunk and it's graded out of 4. And same with number 3 here, the 6 addition subtraction, one chunk, and it's graded out of 4. So even if I took those chunks, it wouldn't give me an indicator maybe every child missed B or every child missed C. So if I would go through and regrade the entire test, maybe giving each little question a 1-point value, that would have given me the data that I needed. Very meticulous and an extra step to what I have to do to grade the Eureka assessments, but it would have given me a really good view of what students still needed to work on. And I think if I was choosing this for my action research, that's something I would look into, maybe converting how I graded it just to see if there was one question in particular that students missed. But overall, I really enjoyed this. It was actually my favorite week of this course so far because I love analyzing data when it's not too complicated, when I understand more of it, and I really think it's interesting. So teaching second grade and not having very many students, using a math test, these were all things that helped me really be able to have data that I understand and interpret it in a way that I think is valuable for me, my teaching, and my students. Thank you.